questions. Will you recommend the Job Guide 360 interview guide to prospective job seekers?
Sure, I will. The guide is detailed and very comprehensive.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Okay.
Today, we're kind of pulling back the curtain on a really critical role in aviation when you don't often see up close the baggage handler. We're not tackling, geopolitics this time. Instead, we're doing a deep dive into the specific, frankly, surprisingly complex skills needed for this job.
That's right. And our source material, it's a really detailed interview prep guide for baggage handlers.
Okay.
And if you really want to know what airlines prioritize, well, these interview questions, they're basically the roadmap.
Right.
And what it shows is this job is way more than just heavy lifting. It's about safety, absolute compliance, dealing with pressure, and honestly, some pretty nuanced people skills.
Yeah, the difference between what most people think and what the job actually demands is, well, it's huge. And that's why this deep dive is valuable for you listening.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to unpack the key requirements for success in this role. We sort of broken it down into three main areas. First, the physical side, the operational demands, then the really strict safety and security stuff. And finally, customer interaction, the soft skills, ready to get into it.
Let's do it.
So we have to start with the physical part, right? It's unavoidable. The guide hits it straight on. Are you comfortable with heavy lifting and sustained physical labor? But the right answer isn't just, yeah, I'm strong. It's more than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They need confidence, sure, but also specific experience, comfort with really taxing work over long periods. And crucially, you have to mention safe lifting techniques.
Why is technique so important? Is it just about avoiding lawsuits?
Well, partly, yes, managing risk is huge, but it's also about sustainability. They want people who can last, not burn out or get injured in 6 months.
Okay.
If you're not lifting safely, you're not just a risk to yourself, you're a risk to the whole operation. Fatigue, injury, it all impacts the schedule.
And that fatigue point is key. Handling long shifts, peak season intensity. Employers need to know you can manage that. They ask, how do you manage stress and fatigue?
Right. And they want specific proactive strategies, not just I push through.
So what does the guide say?
It's about pacing, self-awareness. Things like actually taking your short breaks, staying really hydrated, eating properly to keep energy levels stable.
Practical stuff.
Very practical. And crucially, knowing your limits. Knowing when to ask for help before you make a mistake. Because in that environment, fatigue isn't just about being slow, it's dangerous. It leads to safety or security errors.
Yeah, that intensity.
Yeah.
It leads straight into the pace, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's dynamic, tight turnarounds, sometimes just chaos. The guide asks, can you describe a time you had to work under pressure?
And what they're listening for there is evidence you can sort of triage the situation operationally.
Triage, like in an ER.
Kind of, yeah. Can you stay calm? Can you quickly figure out what's most important? Can you coordinate with your team when things go sideways, like a sudden flood of bags from a delayed flight or equipment breaking down?
So you need to show you prioritize.
Exactly. Safety first, always. Then speed. And clear communication throughout the whole thing. That's what they want to hear.
Okay, but under that pressure, you absolutely cannot mess up the details. Accuracy seems paramount.
Oh, it is. Think of it like precision work. They specifically ask, what steps do you take to ensure accuracy when sorting and loading baggage?
And why is one little mistake such a big deal? A bag goes to the wrong place, happens all the time, right?
Well, it happens, but the consequences are huge. One misrouted bag. That's a cascade failure. International tracking headaches, potential fines for the airline if it delays things, big compensation payouts potentially.
Oh, okay.
So the source is super clear. Double check tags meticulously, match them against the flight details, organize the bags systematically in the cart or container. It's the difference between smooth sailing and a customer service nightmare that costs thousands.
That really does drive home the stakes. Okay, let's pivot a bit. From the pace of the work itself to the environment. The airport, which is just layers and layers of rules.
Indeed. It's a massive security operation. So candidates have to explain how they ensure airport security regulations are followed, always.
That means more than just following orders.
Yes, definitely. It means being proactive. You're part of the security system.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, adhering strictly to all the rules, TSA, FAA, you name it, but also hypervigilance. The guide stresses this. Being alert for anything suspicious, like an unattended bag just sitting there.
Right.
And reporting it instantly, no hesitation, to a supervisor, to security. They want people who are like human sensors out there on the tarmac.
And the safety focus isn't just external threats, it's internal procedures too. The guide mentions two key safety points. personal safety and team safety. First, personal safety around huge planes and moving equipment.
Yeah, that demands constant situational awareness. You have to know what's going on around you, following protocols to the letter, communicating really clearly, especially around vehicles or heavy loads, and using the right gear, wearing your PPE every single time. It's literally life and death out there sometimes.
Okay, the second safety point sounds trickier socially. How do you handle seeing a colleague not following protocols? The guide suggests addressing it privately first.
It does.
But in that noisy, rushed environment, isn't it just easier to look the other way? Especially it's minor.
That's the temptation, right?
Yeah.
But aviation culture at its best doesn't allow for that. Safety has to trump speed or awkwardness.
So private chat first.
Yes, the first step is calm, private conversation. Maybe they just forgot or didn't realize. That maintains team cohesion.
But if it continues,
Then you escalate to a supervisor. Especially if the risk is immediate or serious, it's non-negotiable. Safety is a shared responsibility, and you're accountable for flagging risks no matter who caused it.
got it. That's a fine line to walk diplomacy, but absolute adherence.
Yeah.
Okay, what about specialized safety, like hazardous materials? Stuff passengers might check in.
Right. This requires specific knowledge and keeping it up to date. The answer has to cover correct labeling, segregation. You can't put certain dangerous goods next to others.
Okay.
Wearing the right PPE, being alert for leaks or spills, and again, reporting anything immediately. It's not just moving bags, it's managing potentially dangerous materials sometimes.
We also touched on equipment earlier.
Yeah.
Candidates need to know the tools they ask.
Yeah.
What types of equipment have you used?
Yeah. And you need to be specific. Conveyor belts, pallet trucks, tugs, different trolleys. But the real point is emphasizing, the safety procedures for that equipment.
Like what?
The source specifically mentions lockout to gout, or low tow.
The low tow. For listeners maybe not familiar with industrial safety, what is that exactly and why is it so critical on the tarmac?
Okay, yeah. LTO is a safety procedure. Basically, it ensures that dangerous machinery, like a conveyor belt system or maybe a piece of ground equipment, is completely shut off, properly secured.
So it can't start accidentally.
Exactly. It can't be started up while someone's working on it, like clearing a jam or doing maintenance. You physically lock the power source, put a tag on it, zero chance of it starting unexpectedly.
And for a baggage handler.
Imagine clearing a jammed bag from a conveyor. LO is what stops that belt from suddenly starting and causing a serious injury. Showing, LO demonstrates a fundamental grasp of workplace safety. It's vital.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, one last point in this section. The environment itself. Working outside all year round. They ask about willingness to work in various weather conditions.
Yes, and willingness is the baseline. But the smart answer, the one they want, shows you have a plan.
A plan for the weather.
Yeah, mentioning strategies for staying safe and productive in extreme heat or cold, wearing the right gear, taking extra short breaks if needed, adjusting your pace if it's icy or dangerously hot. It shows you take responsibility, not just follow orders.
Okay, this brings us nicely to the side of the job people probably think about least. Customer service, soft skills. Because baggage handlers are often the ones facing passengers when things go wrong.
Exactly. They're right there on the front line when the system breaks down for a passenger.
So the big question, how should they handle difficult or irate passengers? People who are stressed, tired, maybe missed a flight.
It really boils down to de-escalation. Psychology almost. First step, listen patiently. Stay calm yourself. You can't mirror their anger.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, for sure. But the required response emphasizes empathy. You have to acknowledge their frustration, validate it, then you pivot to solutions. Clear, simple language explaining the next steps, especially if luggage is missing or delayed. You manage their expectations.
That need for patience sounds even more critical when it's specifically about lost or damaged baggage.
Yeah.
That causes so much anxiety.
Absolutely. The ideal response here isn't just procedural, it needs real emotional intelligence.
How so?
Stay calm, obviously. Offer a genuine apology for the trouble, and immediately show you're taking ownership. That means taking prompt action, reporting it, starting the tracking process, and crucially, keeping the passenger informed along the way. You want to turn that high-stress moment into one where they feel looked after, building trust.
But there's a constant tension, isn't there? Balancing that empathy, that service, with the need for speed. The clock is always ticking. How do you provide excellent customer service while maintaining efficiency?
It seems counterintuitive, but good, clear communication actually saves time.
How?
By making the passenger feel heard and understood quickly, you prevent repeated questions, drawn-out arguments, you address the issue efficiently. Then, on the operational side, you need sharp time management, prioritizing tasks, making quick decisions to keep things moving without causing more delays down the line.
The source guide even included a story about going above and beyond.
It did, yeah. And it's a great example of these skills in action. It was about a handler who found out a passenger's delayed bag had just arrived on another flight.
Wow.
Their connection was super tight.
Oh, dear.
So this handler didn't just log it. They personally grabbed the bag, rushed it across the tarmac, and made sure it got loaded onto that connecting flight just in time.
Wow.
That small extra effort under pressure likely saved that passenger a huge headache at their final destination. It shows real initiative focused on the passenger experience.
That's a great illustration. Okay, let's shift to the final stage, the interview itself, the FITS questions. When they ask about biggest strengths, what should candidates highlight?
They need to directly link their strengths back to everything we've just discussed. So physical stamina, yes, but also intense attention to detail, ability to perform under pressure, collaborate with a team, and strong communication skills. It's the whole package.
And the flip side, handling criticism, the classic question. Can you describe a time your work was criticized? How should you answer that?
This is all about showing you're reflective and coachable, not defensive.
Right.
The source suggests focusing on growth. Show you took the feedback seriously. Maybe you asked your supervisor for specific tips, how to load the carts faster perhaps, or stack bags more securely. And then you explain how you practiced those suggestions and improved. It proves you can learn quickly and are committed to getting better. It's not about the past mistake, it's about your ability to improve.
The guide also gives some really practical prep tips, the company research. Can you summarize those?
Yeah, 3 key things. First, check the company website. Look for their mission, their values.
Yeah.
How does baggage handling fit into their promise to customers?
Okay.
Second, look at their social media and maybe sites like Glassdoor. Read comments, reviews, get an unfiltered feel for the culture, maybe recurring problems.
Good idea.
And third, treat the job description like your primary text. Go through it line by line and tailor your answers to match the specific skills and requirements they list. Don't give generic answers.
Makes sense. And finally, the weird ones, the curveball questions. If you could be any animal, what superpower would you choose? Why haven't they asked these? Seems like a waste of time.
It seems like it, but it's absolutely relevant. They don't really care if you want to be a dolphin.
So what do they care about?
They're testing your thinking on the spot, your creativity. Can you connect an abstract idea back to the job? Can you think metaphorically about the role's challenges? The examples in the guide really nail this.
Okay, tell us about those.
So for the animal, the suggestion is an eagle. Why? Keen eyesight, attention to detail. Broad perspective, seeing the whole operation, the flow. It connects directly.
I see. Clever.
And for the superpower, teleportation, perfect, right. It speaks directly to efficiency, eliminating delays, moving bags instantly without mishap. It shows you're thinking strategically about the core challenges, logistics, speed, accuracy, even in a fantasy scenario.
Wow. Okay. This whole deep dive has really changed my perspective on this role. It demands so much. Physical toughness, rigid adherence to safety and security, really skilled communication, all under intense time pressure. It's quite something.
It really is a high-skill position when you break it down.
Yeah.
And the guide leaves us with a final quote, which I think speaks to the mindset needed to really thrive in this kind of demanding operational work.
What's the quote?
It's, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. It suggests that finding genuine satisfaction in the precision, the contribution, the smooth running of things, even under pressure, that's what leads to long-term excellence. Loving the process itself.
That's a really thoughtful takeaway. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How often these essential behind-the-scenes jobs require this incredibly complex mix of hard technical skills and really vital emotional intelligence.
It's true for so many roles we rely on every day.
Well, thank you for walking us through this. It's been genuinely eye-opening.
My pleasure. Always interesting to dig into the details.
And to you, our listener, we hope this gives you a new appreciation for the complexity involved next time you're at an airport. When you see those baggage handlers working, remember the blend of skill and pressure involved. Join us next time for another deep dive.